on this June 4th, 1944. The major troop movements to ports would continue for the Allies. Units like the U.S. 1st Infantry Division and the British 3rd Infantry Division were now boarding their landing crafts. Over 150,000 troops were designated for the initial assault, with loading now in full swing. The Mulberry Harbor's towing preparations were complete, with ships ready to depart. The Pluto stations were fully operational. Convoys began assembling, with some ships departing southern England but were recalled later due to the weather delay to come. Operation Fortitude maintained the deception. The fuselage radio traffic peaked. Double agents reported increased Calais activity, as did Allies' overflights of Calais. The French resistance groups now receiving their final instructions, with sabotage teams ready to act on June 5th. Reconnaissance flights continued, with final photos of German defenses delivered to planners and units. At 4:15 a.m., Eisenhower finally relented to the weather situation and postponed the invasion from June 5th to June 6th due to Stagg's forecast of storms, with 12-foot waves and high winds. This decision was critical. Convoys were recalled and they returned to port temporarily. The sealed orders were now distributed to some senior officers, revealing the Normandy beach objective. Junior officers remained uninformed until now June 5th. Admiral Ramsey adjusted the Navy's schedules, while Lee Mallory confirmed airborne drops for June 5th, the night being postponed to June 6th in the morning. Briefings were being conducted for the troops on the ships, and all equipment was checked. Airborne units renewed their drop zones with latest photographs. Pathfinders were preparing for their midnight drops. Naval forces rehearsed convoy formations despite the recall order. Some troops who could disembark did, but most maintained their uncomfortable position on the ships for one extra day. Meanwhile, on the other side of the water, Rommel left Normandy for Germany, both for a meeting with Hitler and to attend his wife's birthday. That reflected his confidence that the weather would delay an invasion. The 7th Army remained static with no major movements. The 12th Panzer SS continued refitting far inland. The Atlantic Wall construction would continue, with mines and obstacles added. The Melville Battery was nearly completed, but still vulnerable. The German intelligence were actively still being misled by Fortitude, reporting no immediate invasion threat. Luftwaffe reconnaissance was grounded by the weather and, again, fuel shortages. No alerts were raised, as storms convinced commanders across water that an invasion was unlikely. Routine coastal orders continued. Ornstedt maintained his Panzer reserves, while Dullman focused on his static defenses. The Kriegsmarine reported no Allied naval activity due to the storm, reinforcing the complacency further. 1,000 Luftwaffe would arrive at the Battery Macy and begin to set up tent camps around the perimeter. Many of them were regular Luftwaffe crews that had been retrained for infantry duties. I hope you will consider subscribing to my channel, liking, follows, and maybe even join me on Patreon to help out. I am just a guy, a historian, traveling around all these historic places in Europe on my own dime, trying to bring them to you.